that thing. Oh,
You know how it is. Like I
yes.
did it because I'm traveling,
Yeah.
and you know how to get the low fiber. And I think from the swab, that's what it is. Like I really think that might be what it is. So
Probably get a nasal wash. Get it out there.
yeah, I do have some. So,
Yeah.
but we are live. We're here. First of all, I want to thank everybody. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Camille as the host of the Speaker Podcast, the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Tonight's fragrance is Black Butter from my chemistry line. You can get that right now on my website at Chemistry Room Fragrances. And tonight is also being sponsored by Dream During Nation and Candy's Cocoa Bombs. So if you want those, go to the website right now, hit those up, and Gracie Ray Beauty. So I want to thank those sponsors on tonight for this episode of the Speaker Podcast. And with that being said, y'all were like, who is that? Oh my God. So I had to bring him back. Seals the man is here. What's up, Seals? How are you doing?
What's going on? C? Big C. Big C is what they call you.
What? I don't know about that. But
OG.
okay.
Let's go.
Oh my God. See, online and offline, we're gonna leave that alone, okay? But anyway, what's been going on since the last time you were here?
Well, since the last time, things haven't changed much with COVID. Everybody's still inside. Well, I'm still inside. I'm being responsible. But
Right.
because I'm inside, I feel like my house allergies has just like been kicking my butt. So I've been recovering from that for like a week now. But yeah, that's about it, trying to keep my health in check and keep my mental in perfect state.
That's awesome. Oh, and kudos to you. You hit another milestone on YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
I
Appreciate
was
it.
like,
Appreciate it.
"Ooh, okay,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
okay." That's
Thank you
what's
so
up.
much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. So,
Thank
hi, hey, Jana. She's here again. She
Hi,
was
Jana.
so ecstatic last week when I announced that you were returning. She was like,
Oh,
yes.
appreciate you. JK, appreciate you.
So he's giving everyone nicknames
Yeah, I love
around
new
here.
games.
I see that. So we're gonna hop right on in. So, well, first of all, those that are not familiar with you and missed you from a couple weeks ago, can you kind of reiterate who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Sills the Man. I'm a YouTuber. My YouTube channel is Sills the Man on YouTube. Basically, what I talk about is understanding men, and it's more specifically understanding the mind of good men. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was talking about, understanding men, and people were like, oh, but my guy does this, but these dudes be out here doing this. And I was like, you know what? Let me specify this for things I only know about, because I don't know about what these no good dudes do. Let me talk about understanding good men, because y'all need to understand that. That's most important in today's society. That's what we need more of. And that's what I'm trying to inspire these days. So that's what I do. YouTube, Instagram. Yeah, I just want to create a better society with better men. That's my goal. I was raised by kings, and I just want to. I'm trying myself to become the best king I could be, and I just want to inspire those out there who want to become kings as well. So that's my goal. That's my motto. That's what I live by.
You know what? I think that's really important because there's so much what I call chatter on social media talking about what bad men are. You know, girl, if he's doing this, or guy, if she's doing that, XYZ. But I feel like to hear the education of what a good man is, I think if you have that as a template, then those flags will go up because now you have something like a blueprint. You know,
Mhm.
for a lot of women that didn't grow up with fathers or grandfather or uncle or someone, now you have some type of gauge, you
Yeah.
know, a benchmark. So when you meet and date or whatever, or even the person you're with now, I think it's a good way to go say, okay, I remember he said this. So if it's not lining up with this, then that sliding scale, you know, kind of how to guesstimate where that person is falling. Because the worst thing to do is go off what you think is good and then you're in a bad situation. But I think what you're doing is awesome for the ladies, for the women out here, for us, looking out for the queens with that information and educating on what a good man is, what he does, and then using that as the blueprint.
Yeah.
So I think that's dope. Um,
Appreciate it.
no problem. With that being said, that leads into my first question. Since a lot of women, just with our community, did not have that male role. How is it for you being able to navigate manhood without a blueprint?
Uh, it's kind of like when you hear parents say like, "There's no blueprint for being a parent." Like you just have to go with it and see what sticks to the wall and what works and what doesn't work because every child has, they're unique and have their own ways. It's the same thing with young men becoming men. Um, you can teach a young man everything you know. You can teach him the Bible. You can teach him all the rules, all the ways he should go, but it's up to him to decide what he wants to do. If he wants to go left or right, if he wants to go down the right road or the wrong road. So for me, I grew up fatherless, but I didn't grow up without the mentorship of a man. My grandfather raised me, my uncles helped me, they mentored me, so I have an understanding and a foundation. And I was raised in church, so I have understanding and a love for God. So I wasn't left alone. You know what I'm saying? So there are young men out there who don't have any of that, don't have any support, and those are the ones I'm trying to like reach out to, because I wish I had me when I was their age and when I was in their stages of life. So yeah, going without a blueprint it can be tough because it's like you can't learn without making mistakes. um I feel like the best lessons learned are the ones that are taught, and sometimes it hurts. Like you don't know that you're not supposed to touch fire unless you touch fire, and then you realize, oh, that fire is hot. That hurts. You can tell someone fire hurts, but they won't know until they touch it, right? So um, that's what it was like, growing up and trying to understand manhood. And oh yeah, Pop. That's what I call my grandfather.
Oh,
Love the
so
guy.
cute. Mine was
Yeah,
just granddaddy, but what was so funny, I don't know how it is. Church kids, we always find each other. I don't know what it is, if it's like a gravitational pull. I'm a PK,
yeah,
a preacher's daughter, minister's daughter.
yeah,
It's just weird how church kids always find each other. But
yeah,
I think it's dope how, just despite that, you did have other men in your life to guide you along the way. And I think other people, even myself, we can all say that, usually there is someone, some people don't, but the
yeah.
fact that you had that, because a lot of men, particularly with our community, end up going down different paths in their life because they don't have that leadership or their guidance. So with that being said, how did you, even with them, were able to stay on this path versus venturing off, because
Mm.
it happens, especially for men in our community.
I just knew I wanted to have a good life. I've been through some bad times in my life, and I've been around some bad people, and I always saw that the results ended bad. And I was
Mhm.
just like, yo, I don't want to end up in jail or in the grave. I don't want to end up, disappointing my loved ones or people hate me. And
Right,
that's what I was surrounded by. So when you're in those cases, most times you always have that one person like, yo, I just don't want to be like that. Like
right.
I actually want to have a fun life and a good life. So I was that guy. So I realized in order to get to my goal, I have to stay on course. You
Mhm.
know, um, I realized that seeing people go through success, like my mentors, like my grandfather, my pop, and my uncles, that I wanted to be there too one day. And I
Yeah.
also saw the other side that I didn't want to be. So I was just like, you know what? Let me go the right route. Let me try my best to, do right and do good. And just took it from there. Like, who wants to live a stressful life? Like, I've never been a person that wants stress. Like,
Right.
makes me itch. like, I,
Yeah, life is already bringing enough,
yeah,
to us. I think the Bible says that a man is born a few days and he's full of trouble already. So it's like, why would you
yeah,
add on to the trouble that's
yeah,
already, going to be allotted to you throughout your life? So I totally
right,
get that. A
right,
lot of times, going through those things, you get, as a man, you get frustrated. Things become hard. You have these moments in life. The book years ago was at Men from Mars, Women Are from Venus, and it talks about how men and women process things. So for you, um, I will say that some men, not you, but some men, when they go through those hard moments in life, they become abrasive or short or very disconnected or distant. So, as a man dealing with adversity, how do you feel like you do that? How should men handle those moments in life and not make the woman feel unsafe emotionally, or feel like you're unapproachable, or like she's not walking on eggshells, like she still feels included, throughout, whatever you're going through in your life.
Right. And so one of the symptoms of having a lack of mentorship, or someone just being there for you, or a man being there for you and showing you the way, is you don't have anyone to teach you how to handle stress, how
Mm-hmm.
to handle tough times. So the first thing, a lot of these men, especially our black men, do is that they go out into the streets and they lash out their adversities and their stresses, onto people, that they see out here, and that's why you see a lot of our men in jail or in trouble. They don't know how to handle this stress that's going on inside of them.
Right.
Also, they believe that, showing how they feel or expressing how they feel is a sign of weakness. Uh, I always say, never tell a man not to cry, and that crying is for girls. That is one of the most idiotic things you could do, because now you're instilling in him that crying is a sign of weakness, right? So now he doesn't want to go to therapy. He doesn't want to tell nobody about how he feels inside. So when it comes to relationships, with the same mentality that goes on in these streets, they take out their stresses on the person closest to them, which is their wife or their girlfriend, or
Mm-hmm.
the people they live with, their children, even, so their household. So the number one symptom of these things is just men not understanding how to utilize an outlet, how to express themselves without feeling like they're weaker. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it's all a mental, a mindset. So that's one thing that has to be rectified before a man could learn how to treat his lady
Mm-hmm.
in tough times.
Right.
All
So,
right.
okay, I know sometimes in relationships, the woman will be like, babe, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. And she knows, we're built with, this amazing intuition God has given us. So we know something's up.
Yeah.
But when you shut down, then she feels like, well, is it me? Why is he not talking to me? Because we're the opposite. If something's bothering us, we'll talk our way, out
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it, versus the man will go inward.
Yeah.
So how how should women and men kind of navigate that space when he's not even in the space to open up? Should she kind of give him a moment to kind of figure it out and then let him come out and to talk about it, or how does that work?
So I feel like there isn't a one fit all answer, because it depends on your man, right? It
Mm-hmm.
depends on who you're dealing with. Um, I feel like if you're in a relationship with a man, you should have some kind of understanding of how he acts and reacts to certain situations. But one overall mentality that I think women should have when it comes to those situations is that they should give them space if it's needed. But there's also men that need attention, that need that.
Can you kind of unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. So all right. So I gotta admit, all right, I was like this in the past, right? I'm a Leo. I don't know if that matters to y'all, but like I need attention from my lady. Like I need attention from the woman who I care about the most, my loved one. So I also had a problem with expressing myself as well. So what I used to do, the immature Sills used to do, was if I was going through something, I would make hints and I would throw them out there in front of her, hoping that she caught it. And if she didn't, I would be upset. But I would never tell her like how I really felt, because I didn't understand communication is the key to all success. But now I do. But that's what a lot of men do, right? So they need attention. They need you to understand them. Like they need you to read their mind. That is not the way to go. So if you have a problem, man, you have to express yourself to your partner. And that's another thing I need to emphasize on. Your woman is your partner. She's not a co-worker or a adversary. She's your partner. Y'all doing this together. So how can you gain success in a relationship if you don't include the other half of your relationship, right?
Mm.
So you have to have communication with your woman. Otherwise, she can't read minds. And even if she could, you need to be the one to put things together, because if she's going through things, she expects the same from you.
Mm-hmm.
So emphasis on partnership. You got to do this thing together, right? Like, how do you feel about that?
I agree. I think temperament is important. And that comes with communicating. I have a saying, I believe that dating is gathering of data. And I think sometimes people get so caught up on the aesthetics, like, oh, he's fine, she's cute, whatever. Yes, you do want to be attracted to that person you're considering getting into a relationship with. But my take on it is, okay, you fine. Next, like, let's put that on the shelf. I want to get to know you. I want to know your integrity. I want to know how do you operate as a man, not just around me, but in the community. Like, are you respected? Are you a man of your word? Are you honest? What does your relationship with God look like? Do you have a prayer life? How do you handle yourself at work? In
Right.
stressful situations, are you going to maintain your integrity, or are you going to cut corners? I look at those things. Are you selfish? Are you stingy? Are you a good listener? Are you have a good sense of humor? Are you responsible? Do you have goals? There's so many other things to me that packages what a man is.
Right.
Are you an encourager? Because if I'm having a moment, are you gonna be like, well, I don't know what you're gonna do? Are you gonna, hey, let's talk about it and work it out? So I think for me, and I'm a naturally a talker, not like chatty, but I like to communicate. I want to know if you're okay, how you're doing, how your day went. If
Right.
I kind of notice if you come through the door and you're in a mood, I'll give you a moment, because you need to decompress as well. I'll give you some time to do that, and I may be somewhere else, but I will greet you when you come in the house. And
Right.
that's a whole nother philosophy I have on
Yeah.
that. I think a lot of women, your man is coming home, you're on the phone, girl, yeah, like, hello, it's a whole person right here. Like, he's coming home, he's coming through the door, girl, I'll hit you back.
Right.
And you don't know what he dealt with. So
Yeah.
I feel like the woman sets the tone. So when he comes in the door, you know, you're the game changer for him. Like, it reminds him why he does what he does. So that's a whole nother probably
Right.
episode on that.
I
But I
agree.
feel like in totality, I just feel like the woman and the man, there should be some balance. But I
Yeah.
do agree, like, you should communicate, moods. Like, I'm not a morning person. Maybe I'm a little groggy in the morning, or I need a minute to wake up, or maybe I'm a night owl. I work late, I work later at night. So you just have to kind of find each other's niche. There's no perfect answer,
Right.
but just kind of meet each other halfway. And I feel like in a relationship, how can you love me if you don't like me as a person? And
Right.
when you're looking at fidelity and things like that, as far as what you're going to put in jeopardy, before you go off and do that, it's bigger than you losing me as your girlfriend or your wife. Thinking about, you're losing probably your BFF.
Yeah.
So can you take, not me not being your life, but can you take also losing me as your friend and
Right.
everything that comes, because I'm a great friend. So
Yep.
can you really process and deal with that? Like, man, if I do XYZ that could hurt her and push out the door, I'm losing her and her friendship. And
Yeah.
I
The
think,
whole package.
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it goes beyond, well, we broke up, but no, you're losing a friend. So you have to look at that too. And that's just kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. And having your anger overrule your actions will make you lose a lot of good things.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes when you have disagreements, it's not even that. Sometimes it's tied to something bigger that was not resolved
Yep.
previously, and that wasn't addressed. So I feel like, again, communication is super important, because when you communicate, I was kind of feeling, well, and it could have been they weren't even thinking like that, because the way you interpreted it,
Yeah.
maybe you were interpreting it out of a emotional trigger from a previous relationship. So
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, because Keisha did this to me, Camille's doing that. When Camille's mind wasn't even there.
Right.
Now you have to look at your perspective, like, well, maybe I interpreted it wrong. And that's where the communication comes. So,
Right. Totally agree. Spot on.
so yeah. Um, oh, that was a whole like little
Hey,
sidebar.
you better drink some water, girl.
That was good though. But I like it. So I guess that ties into what I was gonna go with next, what events that shapes a man's ideals about a relationships. Like, what are things that could happen in a man's past that could mold how he views a relationship or how he maneuvers in a relationship?
Number one, heartbreaks,
Mm.
especially for men who have egos or live a lifestyle led by ego. The first time he gets rejected, or the first time he gets his heart broken, that can literally set a crack that will spread for the rest of his life until he confronts it. Right. So what I mean by that, say for instance, a teenager or a young man in college, he gets his first heartbreak, and now he loses all trust in women. And mind you, most men, most men don't believe in therapy. They don't believe in expressing themselves. So now they're trying to handle this internalized anger and frustration, and they just let it continue. This cycle continue of just being mad at women for the rest of their lives. And that's why you see a lot of these bitter men online and offline in real life. I ain't got to say
savage. Like they out here just
yo,
like going for theirs. And I'm like, who
come
hurt
on.
you? Like, really?
Like literally, who hurt you? And how do you want to talk about this? Because you need someone to talk about. Like you need someone to talk to about this, because why are you so mad at all women? Like I don't understand that. And it goes for women too who are mad at all men.
Yeah.
And I have to say that a lot on my YouTube channel. Like, yo, not all men are like what you're saying, and vice
There
versa.
are
Not all,
still good black men out here. I want to say that.
like,
Good black men exist.
but when I
Not
say it,
all black men are dogs. I
but
just had
when
to
I
say that.
but when I say it, it's like I got 3 heads on my shoulders. Like, y'all really think the whole world is full of just bad people, bad women and men? Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, I am that guy. So it's like, and it's a lot more of me. I was raised by these men. So I you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, yes. So,
What, you had a wipe your face?
yeah, because it's really frustrating to see. Like, if you even go online and you search for just anything about, the relationship between men and women, I bet you the first 19 results out of the first 20 is going to be about negative, something negative. Like why you got cheated on, why she doesn't like you, or why they broke up with you. There is nothing positive about the relationship between men and women, because of course negativity is popular. People want to see negativity. So it's just really frustrating to see. What do you think about that? See, because
I agree. I mean, my thing is,
yeah,
first of all, I said what I said. I said it loud enough for the people in the back. There are still good black men out there. I refuse to, and I'm not knocking people that make other choices, but for me in my house, there's take it to the Bible. Listen, for me in my house, there are still good black men out there, and I've had my heart broken, but I just refuse to throw away an entire demographic because of a couple of knuckleheads. I'm not gonna do it. And maybe at the time I was choosing not out of a good place because maybe my chooser was wrong, and that's why I had to go somewhere, sit down and look at myself and think, well, what role did I have that I was choosing the wrong men?
right.
And then once doing some soul search and some therapy, I'm going, aha.
Right.
So now that, the eyes are clear, and I'm like, we got a blueprint.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. And at this point, I'm not, out here lurking and searching. But I feel like when God introduces me to that person, we cross paths, maybe I already know him, I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm operating out of a different space, because when you can choose out of a place of strength and wholeness, your perspective is different. When you're choosing because you're lonely, you're broken, you're in a place of, what's the saying? The way to get over a bad one is to get under, whatever crazy.
I hate it.
Like all of that mess.
Hated it.
Yeah. Like, and you're not doing some old rebound crap and just doing it out of a place of genuineness and wholeness. You can choose and see your discernment is more fine tuned for me. And so I had someone few weeks ago walk up to me, ask me for lunch, and we chit chatted, and he's talking, and my spirit was like,
Listen to it. Listen to it. Yeah.
No. And I was, no, thank you. And that, I was being bougie or whatever, but there was too many bells and whistles, and he was a handsome guy, but I think a lot of women excuse all the bells and whistles because they're looking at the packaging. And I say all the time that we get so caught up in the package, we fail to inspect the content. Yeah. And my sister's out here, girl, okay, it's glittery, he got a bow, whatever. Take the lid off, pull out the tissue paper, the bubble wrap, and you need to inspect what's inside, because under all that tissue paper, it may be a razor blade. You don't
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
you have to, like I said, in dating, get data, talk to him, ask questions,
Yeah.
see him in different seasons of his life. Like, how does he respond when he's angry? When he's sad, how does he respond? When he's
Yep.
frustrated, how's he responding? Not
Yep.
always the cloud nine, but if he's sick, is he mean? Is he a big old baby? Is he a mama's boy? Like, these are things you need to know.
And I feel like you shouldn't get in a relationship with someone if you don't date them first.
Right.
Like I feel like you shouldn't get married to someone if you don't know them, or at least feel like you have a large grasp of who they are. And I feel like a lot of the relationships we see nowadays and marriages we see nowadays are microwave marriages and microwave relationships. They're popcorn relationships. They just put it in the microwave and they start popping, and now they think they got something good to eat. But now you don't realize you eating fast food, man. You don't even know what this food is. Like,
The Jiffy Pop.
yo,
But it was
like
that
that's
old
why,
school, that over Wettenbacher, you had to like the oil.
yo, listen, see, like that's why I have so much respect for farmers, right?
Yes.
Because farmers, they know they grow the food, they know every single ingredient in it. They sit there every day and nurture that relationship they have.
Mm-hmm.
But you got people out here, consumers, who just buy food, buy fast food because it's it's fast and convenient, and they don't even know what they're in a relationship with. You know?
GMO.
Yeah, now you got somebody. Now you got a whole GMO human in your house, in your bed. You don't even know who this person is because you didn't take the time to build a relationship to know his or her ingredients.
Sleeping
You know
with
what I'm
the
saying?
boogeyman and you don't even know it.
You don't know these people, so why are you getting a relationship? Why you? Come on, man. Y'all gotta be careful out here.
Okay. Now you got my brain is turning. So with that being said, what about this old ride or die relationship we hear about? Like pain tolerance and well, I know she loved me because I took her through hell, or I loved him because I stayed with him through XYZ. And I know she's why do people feel like the need, like they have to prove the love by going through all this drama, all this trauma, and false narrative that because they love me, because they went through me through thick and thin and through all this crap. Like, not talking about life, but I'm talking about just trauma, crap, drama. Like, can you kind of unpack like how really toxic is the ride or die relationship and pain tolerance and how it's just toxic? I don't like it. Like
Oh,
why are we doing this?
it's like you said it. It's the epitome of toxic. You might as well just walk into a mud puddle and just sit there because right. What do you mean ride or die? First of all, I'm not trying to die with you. So why are we even in a situation to die? That's another thing. Like I never got that saying. First of all, I'm trying to ride and fly. I'm not trying to ride and die. What? If you so this is another thing I believe in, right? When you put a seed of doubt into something, it's going to sprout. When you put a seed of doubt, it's going to sprout.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come into a relationship with your mindset on, yo, this is my ride or die, then guess what? Your relationship is going to die. Something's going to die because you said it. You said it forth. So why not you have to change your mentality when it comes to relationships. And another thing with ride or die is it's a fake, it's a false loyalty. So now you got to understand that manipulators use ride or die as a tactic to keep you, to hold you down, female and male. Because if they know you commit to this ride or die this ride or die mentality or commitment, they know you're not going anywhere. And now they know they can do whatever they want with you because they know you're gonna ride or die
And crash.
and crash. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like it is a false loyalty. And that's another thing we need to find a difference in between false loyalty and healthy loyalty, right? Because people out here be loyal to the devil and and they don't even know it. You know what I mean? Because the devil tastes sweet and then the devil has money and the devil now they loyal to this thing. Now you're gonna die with that devil. Like the ride or die mentality is outdated, it's stupid, it's unhealthy, and it will kill you. It's literally in the words. It's power in words, right?
So do you think it has something to do with like reality TV, social media, because we see hashtag relationship goals, hashtag power couple, because I feel like now through social media, relationships it's being marketed, if that makes sense. Like, with these pictures, Christmas, we all went wearing onesies, or oh, we're building our brand together, but he's still cheating on you,
Yeah.
or she's still creeping on you, or it's like, is it more of a business deal, or are you here because you love me for who I am? And because if the business flops, where does that leave the relationship?
I feel like actually the TV shows and all you see this, on media is a product of what happens in real life. People realize like, oh, we can make money off of this thing. You know, you don't see many things on media or TV that's making good things popular, like happy families. And you remember back in the day, we used to have all the black shows used to be like family oriented, used to be like educated, like a different world. It was in college. Like, you remember those? What happened to those? What happened to those kind of shows? What happened?
Yeah,
Right? Nowadays, you can't find one. And if you do find one show like that, it doesn't last long.
right.
But how long has Love and Hip Hop been on TV?
Forever.
And it ain't
Real
gonna stop.
Housewives has been on forever.
And it's not gonna stop no time soon.
Right.
It's because negativity is attractive. So and these companies see the money making abilities off of negativity. So
Mhm.
and all it is a reflection of our society and the mindset of our society today. You know, people want to be people want to be bad and bougie. People want to be, you know, yeah. What's I don't even know some of these terms nowadays. Like
The drip for sale. They got drip for
yeah, the
sale.
drip. Like it's nothing positive out there that garners the attention of these companies. So media is only a reflection of today's society. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like I think a lot of it's a marketing scheme. And you have to have more to the relationship than just a brand of business and a couple of books, because all that could go away, and then you have to look at that other person is like, then what? So you
Mm-hmm.
need someone of substance, someone that can ride the waves with you through life. If your parents get sick or someone passes away, job loss, anything, like, can you do life with me? And
Mm-hmm.
that's where I am in my life is, I want to do all the cool stuff, but can you do life with me? And I think that's what's really important.
Right.
So going into that, I do want to ask, oh, how can I put this? So there's a term you used before called the perfectionist syndrome, and I heard it, and I was like, well, what is that? So can you kind of like unpack what is the perfectionist syndrome and what is that really all about?
When it comes to men or just in
Men, yeah.
okay. So like I said, I touched it a little bit on earlier, but it's the mindset that men have that they can't express themselves or they have trouble expressing themselves. So they do whatever it takes to accomplish whatever they need to do or need to get done. The problem is that they don't ask for help. Um, they don't ask for guidance, and they end up crashing and burning a lot and behind closed doors and in front of open doors. And I know this personally because I was that guy. I felt like I could do everything without help. I feel like everything that I was battling inside that I could take care of, or it would go away. I don't need help. But it turned
But
out to
like,
be.
why? Like, I guess women, because we're, I guess, more of a community based how we're wired. I
Mhm.
guess it's just like, well, why?
Because of this false uh, mask of manhood, and thinking that manhood means you have to do everything, that you have to carry the world alone by yourself. Like you have to a little thing, a little funny thing that men do when you come from the store and you go home and you taking the bags out the car inside.
Mm-hmm.
They literally think they'll try to take every single bag out the car inside one time. You know what I'm saying? Or They'll be like, "Oh, I got this. I got this," knowing darn well that they too weak to carry all these bags inside. But they just want to show you how strong they are. It's an outer look that we want to give y'all, right? The uneducated man. It's an outside facade, right? But inside, this man is like he's troubled, he's hurting, he's in pain, he needs help. But perfectionist syndrome, it makes him go the route of doing it on his own, which is so unhealthy. You know,
So
it's
how
it's
can
all
you be a
about.
perfectionist but you want a partner? Like, it just like make it make sense.
That's where the problem lies, right? You have a lot of people, you have a lot of men out here who are trying to get relationships and not even, dealing with the demons inside of them at the time, So they're getting relationships with these demons inside of them, and now the demons is attaching to this unknowing woman. So, and that's the thing that we have to be honest, you know, with ourselves and the people that we're trying to deal with or trying to attach to our relationship, right? Because otherwise you're going to bring your troubles to this person and they didn't ask for that, so it's ego. It's a trick of the devil, man. Ego could really mess a man's life up. um yeah, so it sounds like you might have dealt with a man like this before. I can tell by your face. Do you have experiences with this, Miss C?
Oh, Missy,
Yes,
uh,
yes,
Seals,
yes.
almost messed up. Called you the other name. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I would say yes. I'm gonna raise my hand. I feel that there should be balance. To me, there's no tick on your manhood, your orientation, your masculinity. It's something you don't know. Because if I don't know, I feel like that's something we can learn together. I'm not going to look
Exactly.
at you in any other light to say, well, I don't know, girl. He just, it's not that. I just feel like I appreciate your honesty. If you tell me there's something, well, I don't really know about that. Let me find out. Let me get back to you, or we can figure it out together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I may be different. I'm wired differently, but that's just how I take it. However, I have been in a relationship before where how can I use the word? I want to say intimidated, but they kind of felt away by me, and then they began to sabotage things I had going on because they were insecure.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't recognize it at first until like later. Even though this person, multiple degrees, successful on paper, but within broken, insecure, jealous, and it had nothing to do with me, but it was because of their lack of healing, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And those are things I think again in dating you need to find out before you get too far into it and get so invested because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know again that person's past.
Yeah.
Men if they're been molested or sexually assaulted as children or traumatized and they carry this into the relationship
Yeah.
and how to deal with personal relationships, it can manifest as narcissism, it can manifest as domestic violence, it can manifest as verbal abuse, and men manifest in other ways. It can manifest in you what I call coping. Some men cope through overachieving, meaning getting all these degrees, they're in the gym all the time. Some
Mm-hmm.
men cope by substance abuse, cigarettes. Some men cope by being sexually promiscuous. There's something men, when they're hurting, there's a vice,
Mm-hmm.
that they use to try to revalidate their manhood or fight against that bad tape recorder playing in their head, trying to like the, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the person that they're trying to I told you so is not even around
Yeah.
because their inner boy has been damaged. Now they're trying to prove themselves inwardly to the world, even though we can't hear the voice, but
Mm-hmm.
they hear it. And so it will manifest in other ways. So I think for women, it's very important. Um, it's good to have fun, date, go out, but in that, pray and ask God to show you Him, not just physically, but spiritually. And if God is this for you, if He's here to hurt, destroy,
Excuse me.
deter, whatever, reveal Him and move Him out of the way. And I've always prayed that, and He's done it every time. And I think sometimes for women, because we want that happy ending, we forget to pray and to look at the red flags and operate in discernment and to see that. And if you see something that doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
excuse me, don't just glaze over that. Don't do a rolling stop. Pause and look at it and
Yeah.
see, am I seeing what I'm seeing, or am I looking and really? And a lot of times your gut isn't wrong.
Yeah. I always say, listen to your inner talk.
Hmm.
You are going to be talking to you in most cases, and the problem that we have is that we ignore that.
Yeah,
Like most times we say, hey, we see a car coming down the street, don't walk that, don't cross that street, and you
exactly.
be the one that be like, you know what, I can make it. Yeah, I think I can make it real quick.
I mean,
Yeah, and you're like, man, I
yeah,
should like, you know, what I mean, I should have listened to myself. We say that a lot, you know.
yeah.
And the red flags be smacking us in the face sometimes,
Oh, for sure, for
but we
sure.
ignore it. We ignore it because we and a lot of problems that a lot of women have is that they think that like, oh, I could fix him.
Hmm.
That's not your job to fix nobody.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm on something else. Oh, let me get a sip of tea, man.
Yeah, go ahead. While we're saying that, first of all, I want to shout out some people that are in the room because this conversation is really, really, really good. I want to thank Whitney here, Jana, Brittany Wells, Sharonika Lachey, JT, Racondius is in the building. 6 a.m. accountability call is here. Samantha's here. Shada. Let's see who's else in the building. If you know someone, please drop a heart in the comments below and like, share, comment. If you haven't heard, Heart and Soul 2021 kicks off next week, October 11th and 12th. I'll be at 7:30 both nights. Both nights we're kicking off with a pre-event party from Nashville, Tennessee. DJ Spade will be on the 1 and 2s, and day one will be the panelists for the guys. It will be a roundtable discussion with Black men, and night two is ladies' night. So we're going to have a roundtable discussion with some phenomenal panelists. So in order to get to that event, go to my website, and you can also go to Speaker Podcast, and you can register right now. There's still seats available. Register today and do that. And with that being said, we're going to hop in. Seals the Man is here. Be sure to follow him on Instagram. Also, be sure to follow him on YouTube. He has some amazing content. And trust me, when you watch one video, you're going to get hooked. And then you're going to watch another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So he has great, great content. So Seals, welcome back. You were talking about, trying to fix the man. And that's why I had to pause, because you were about to step off in it. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I could feel you. And I was like, a lot of women feel like, oh, well, if I love him, enough, he'll see me for who I am. And maybe he's just having a hard time, and I'll just be the ride or die and get through it. But it's like, no, sis, you saw what you saw. Why are you trying to rehab and what I call build a bae? You trying to put him together. So can you kind of unpack that, Seal?
Nah, you need to explain this build debate.
Okay.
Put that on the shirt.
So build a bae is when the woman sees all of his potential.
Yeah.
If I could just, polish him up, or if he just lost 40 pounds, if I just helped him get through school, or, he just kind of lost his way, or he just needs someone to support him, or, well, I know he doesn't have a job right now. He's living with his mama and catching a bus, but, if I just do this, build a bae.
Nope. So my theory is like, I feel like for a successful relationship, the two should be bringing something to the table. Both should be bringing something to the table to make one successful table, right?
Come on, Deacon, let's go.
So if you come into the table and you bring in all the food, you bring all the mac and cheese, bake, the turkey, and this brother shows up with a bag of ice, or he don't show up with nothing, like, oh, hey, I'm just coming to, present myself. But you the one that brought everything to the table. You the one that's running the show. So basically, without you, there would be nothing. So that is the problem. You're setting yourself up, right? So I feel like before you think you can fix anybody, you need to fix yourself.
Mm.
And in the process of fixing yourself, you will realize that you don't need to fix someone else. That's how I feel about it. Because when you take the effort to fix yourself, you understand how hard that is. Like you understand all the walls you got to break, all the egos you got to deteriorate, all the habits you got to like cut off. You realize all the pain, sweat, blood, tears, equity, all of that it takes into just fixing yourself. And you think I want to do that for someone else when
That's
they have the same time and opportunity that I have, and you're supposed to fix another grown man?
what's
No,
that Keisha Cole? You can't raise a man? Like,
yo. So it's like, and then another thing with that is you think you think how you're going to fix him is what he wants. What if this man likes how he's living, right? What if he's doing exactly what he wants to do?
does he really respect the woman that's putting up with all that?
No. Because a real man respects a woman who's going to hold him accountable. So how is she going to hold him accountable if she's fixing him? Those are two different things.
Stop. Say that again.
I'm see, this is all freestyle. I don't remember my bars, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yo, but I'm serious though. Like respect is garnered, respect is earned, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can I'm gonna speak for myself, how can I fix a woman and respect her, and then how can she honestly have respect for me if she's not bringing nothing to me or bringing nothing to our relationship? So this is all a one-way street. So what are you getting out of it? How
Because
is
you
that?
see women, girl, I want him to, pay my bills, get my nails done. Like, no,
Right,
this is not. You're not trying to be a kept. You want to be a kept woman.
right.
Like you just want to sit up and be on social media all day because you see this on social media, so you're trying to mimic what you see. Like, I just want him to pay my bills and pay the mortgage, and that's not fair.
Because he could drop you and do that for someone else.
But that's selfish.
Right. It's the things that matter are the intangible things, the things that can't be bought by man-made money or man-made currency.
Right.
That's the only thing that's going to keep a relationship together. Him paying your bills or buying you bags and jewelry, that's not going to keep y'all together, because guess what? A man can do that for someone else. What a man can't do is share his love. Like he can't share his appreciation and respect for his loved one with another one. Like it's those things that can't be bought, can't be weighed, can't be touched, that matters the most when it comes to staying with someone, right?
But that's
I
not
feel,
tie back into friendship and priorities,
right,
because if we're friends, I'm not here to use you and vice versa. I'm here
right,
to support, encourage, push for. There's a reciprocity that takes
right,
place.
right. Yep, yep. That's a good thing you brought up though. Friendship. I feel like I got to be your best friend in order to be in a relationship with you. Like I,
Yeah.
I I'm just I can only speak for me. Like
No,
I feel
I
like I
agree. Yeah.
because you know what I'm saying, because how can you really know someone if you're not their friend first? You know, it takes steps, it takes levels to get to the top level. You know, you
Mhm.
can't skip mad levels. Like I can't go from crawling to running. I got to learn how to walk.
Yeah, we
You know,
can't
so
just be out here crawling, and then when you say bolt, like, wait a minute.
yeah, like whoa, do I know you? Like, am I missing something?
Right.
Like,
So
yeah,
some things we need to know. I
yeah,
That's a really good point. One more
yeah.
question.
Mhm.
Okay, so going back to the perfectionist syndrome, like how do men remember like that she's your partner, or she's the one in your life outside of your mom and God that really matters to you the most? Particularly with our culture and prioritizing yourself, going through therapy. So knowing that she's not there to be against you, she's for you.
Yeah.
And as far as your ego, like removing the ego and saying she's not my enemy, she's not the bad guy, but she's here to support. But
Yeah.
if I keep doing certain behaviors, I'm gonna lose my number one fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Saying remember is kind of weird to me. Like you should know your woman is like your partner if y'all in a whole relationship. I feel like there's people out here forgetting that their woman is their partner. That's crazy. Like I feel like that should be a the foundation, right? But
Right.
then you're right. There's men out there who act like they forget, but they don't forget. Like you got to know, you choose to forget, right? Because if
Oh,
you say,
can you kind of dig that out a little bit? I kind of like that.
yeah, like you know better, right? It's kind of like when you got in trouble with your parent and your parent be like, you know better. Like I taught you, you chose to act like you didn't know better. Now you at this school and these teachers act like you ain't been raised by good people. Like you chose to act like you ain't know better. These men and women out here, they're choosing to act like their loved one ain't there for them, or that their loved one ain't got their back. You know,
So how long should a woman like deal with bad behavior? Like,
never, never. I like I said earlier, I don't deal with stress, and when I feel stress coming, all right. So I won't say never. I'll say in the beginning, if you realize bad behavior, then you need to either confront it or avoid it. But you should never see bad behavior and endure it because once again, that's a red flag, right? Like, why would you like if you see bad behavior in the beginning? Why would you stay with that?
mm,
You know, why would because a lot of people want to give second chances. They want to give third chances. They think they could fix the person.
right.
They think that the person will change because of them, right? But there's certain things that can never fly with me. There's certain
Deal
bad
breakers,
behavior.
like deal breakers.
Yeah, there's certain bad behavior that can never because don't get me wrong, we all mess up. But I don't consider that bad behavior, right? If you just make a a, a, a certain mess up.
So what if there's like just simple miscommunication and we
Right,
weren't talked about it? Oh, okay.
right, right,
But okay.
right. So I wouldn't consider that bad behavior. I would consider because you got to remember in a relationship, there's two different people, unique people that you know aren't always going to be compatible in the beginning. They have to learn each other and then adapt to each other, right? I have to learn you, you have to learn me. We're not going to be perfectly fit, you know? So that's why there's, I feel like arguments can be healthy as long as it's not destructive or degrading or loud or disrespectful. But there needs to be communication. And sometimes that's going to happen. Bad behavior is a totally different topic.
Okay, what's bad behavior?
Aggressiveness, tendency for violence, um, narcissistic ways, uh, hygiene. That's another thing that people don't talk about enough. Um, is like things like that. That can't be brought back. Like once I hit a woman, once somebody hit, you can never take that back. That's bad behavior. Like I don't. It only takes you to do that one time.
I feel like even verbal things like um I believe even in relationships you're going to disagree, but I believe in fighting
Yeah.
fair. I
Yeah.
don't believe in going below the belt because we can
Mhm.
disagree, but I don't have to disrespect you. You don't have to disrespect me.
Right.
We start pulling out and see that's why and I think when women do that, the man is like, now you just weaponize something I told you.
Hmm.
So even if y'all make up, he's gonna remember that. And
Yeah,
now
he's gonna
you
remember that.
lost him.
Hmm.
That's a piece of him that you've lost.
Yep. And that's gonna come to what you said earlier, men not communicating. And with men, it's a really short lease because it's a real short lease. Like if you hurt it, if you heartbreak him, break his heart or lose his trust, most likely he's not going to give you another chance. That's just how most men are overall. I see a lot of women giving a lot of chances. There needs to be some balance. Some understanding of what's right and what's wrong, and what can fly and what can't. So yeah.
Well, we just unpacked a lot. So Jana said silent treatment is also a form of violence.
Mm, that's interesting.
I've heard that before.
That's interesting.
Um, that well, actually, yeah, because Yeah, I can agree with that because it's a form of nonverbal abuse. It's psychological abuse. I've actually studied that in one of my classes when I was getting my degree, and that did fall under one of the categories. Is that is a type of abuse in a abusive relationship, silent treatment, like
Mm-hmm.
deliberate silent treatment, ghosting, things like that. That's one of the traits that plays with narcissism. Is the silent treatment? That's a thing that they do.
Mm. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's a good one. I never heard of that before. That, but I like to hear new thought processes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like silent treatment is a lot of abuse on yourself. Actually, like
Yeah,
that's a lot of burden to hold and not communicate about. Like I'm big on communication. If you hold things in, it's holding things in is nothing but cancer.
yeah.
It's gonna hurt you at the end.
There's a difference between saying, "Hey, I just need a minute to cool off."
Yeah,
That's one thing, but you deliberately going days, weeks,
yeah,
but just based on things I've studied, like withholding communication
yeah,
when there's been conflict, not because you need to cool off.
yeah,
It's a tool. It's a
yeah,
power tool. That's usually it falls under the category of triggers,
yeah.
emotional triggers, and that's something a lot of narcissists will do when they're playing with their target. They'll do
Right,
that.
right.
So
I like
it's a
that.
very interesting study. If you ever get a chance, like check that out. But it's very
Definitely.
interesting.
Thank you, Jenna.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Um, well, this has been a great episode. We unpacked a lot. Like,
Mhm.
I feel enlightened. Ladies, I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but I feel enlightened. I really like talking to Seals. He's
Don't
always
forget about my guy Rico. He in there.
Racondas is here.
Yeah. I called you Rico. All right, there you go.
Raconda is he said, woo, he's speaking straight truth. Well, thank you everyone. Um before we close out, give us a takeaway or something those listeners and viewers that they catch the replay later that they can kind of chew on until you come back next time.
Hmm. Dang, you caught me. I was ready for this one. Um, I would just say, just try to live stress free, man. Just avoid all things, all people, all food, all energies that you feel like are against you. Um, and most times we know the people who aren't against us, but we still find a way to be in their presence or let them in our presence or in our homes even. Like I just feel like we need to all like avoid, cut off all cancerous things, people, and watch how much your life flourishes. Keep God first. Always try to be positive. Always try to be optimistic, even when it's the hardest and darkest times, because stars shine brightest in the dark. So never give up on yourself. Keep yourself first, and keep your health first as well. And then your life will go so much better. So the theme is be positive always and forever. Luther Vandross.
And the church said, "Amen." Start playing. What's that? Wine is let the church say.
Amen. Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So with those that want to connect with you on social media, and follow you, just because on your YouTube you have phenomenal content.
Thank
So
you.
where can people connect with you on social media?
Like you said, YouTube, Seals the Man, and Instagram, Seals the Man. I'm working on a website right now that should be done soon, and yeah, slowly but surely trying to just help people out there, and do what I've always wanted to do, and just change mindsets for the better.
Awesome. I love it. Well, everyone, it's your girl Camille Essick. I'm a host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Thanks for watching and tuning in, guys. Good night. Be blessed. Bye.